Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Abdullah bin Muhammad Effendi, and I will be presenting the justification of study Pestech International Berhad and Solarvest Holdings Berhad. This study compares Pestech International Berhad and Solarvest Holdings Berhad, which two companies operating within Malaysia's power and energy sector. While both are part of the same industry, they represent very different business models. Pestech is a traditional capital-intensive infrastructure provider, whereas Solarvest is a high-growth renewable energy specialist. This contrast makes the comparison meaningful as it allows us to analyze differences in financial structures, risk exposure, and long-term growth trajectories within the same sector. Pestech focuses on high-voltage electrical infrastructure and grid system, undertaking large and long-term projects that require high capital expenditure. In recent years, the company has faced financial stress, including losses and high leverage, which exposes it to significant project execution and solvency risks. In contrast, Solarvest specializes in solar voltaic solutions and renewable energy assets. It has recorded strong revenue and profit growth driven by supportive renewable energy policies introduced by Malaysia. Its shift toward asset ownership also provides recurring income, positioning Solarvest as a growth-oriented and relatively lower-risk investment. From an industry perspective, both companies play complementary roles in Malaysia's energy transition. Pestech builds the transmission infrastructure that enables electricity distribution, while Solarvest develops new renewable energy generation sources. As Malaysia pushes for grid upgrades and cleaner energy expansion, both firms are critical to national energy development.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Fadlan bin Ahmad Fisur. My metric number is 2025787505. So today I will present the background of the company for Solarvest and also Pestech Holding. And then the second one I will present the financial ratio for both of the company. So first I will present the background of the company. So for Solarvest Holding Berhad is a leading Malaysia clean energy company that have played a pivotal role in enhancing solar energy adoption across Southern Asia. Founded in 2012, Solarvest began as one of the first certified grid-tied solar photovoltaic system providers in Malaysia, offering turnkey engineering, procurement, construction, and commissioning EPCC service. For Pestech International Berhad is a leading Malaysia-based integrated electrical power technology company that has steadily grown into a regional powerhouse in the energy infrastructure sector. Established in 1991 and incorporated in 2011, Pestech have built a reputation for delivering high-quality engineering solutions across Asia, Africa, and Middle East. Headquartered in Shah Alam, Selangor, the company is publicly listed on Bursa Malaysia and has become synonym with innovation, reliability, and sustainability in the power industry. Now, I will present about financial ratio for both of the company. So, this is under liquidity ratio. So, liquidity ratio has two ratio, which is first current ratio, and then the second one is quick ratio. So, as you can see, this is the table for current ratio for Solarvest holding and also Pestech International Berhad. So based on the conclusion ratio, Solarvest Berhad show increases trend in its current ratio from 2020 to 2024. This is because this trend is contributed by the increases in the company current asset from 1,43300 to 296,890. And then for first step, based on the concluded ratio, first step show a decreases trend in its current ratio from 2020 to 2024. This is because this trend is contributed by the increases in the company liability from 1.08 to 1.16 million. For Solarvest, based on the concluded ratio, Solarvest show an increases trend in a quick ratio from 2020 to 2024. This is because trend is contributed by decreases in the company inventory from 90.8 to 30.56. And then for Pestech, based on the concluded ratio, Pestech show a decreases trend in its quick ratio from 2020 to 2024. This is because this trend is contributed by the increase in the company inventory from 95.6 to 56.8. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. Today I'll be presenting a financial ratio analysis comparing Solarvest Holding Berhad and Pestech International Berhad over a 5-year period from 2020 to 2024. The purpose of this analysis is to evaluate the financial health of both companies and to determine which company is more stable and less risky based on their financial performance. This analysis focuses on 4 main areas. First, we look at financial risk through debt ratios. Second, we evaluate debt paying ability ratios using the time interest earn ratio. Third, we analyze cash flow efficiency using the average collection period. Finally, we study operational efficiency through inventory turnover. Together, this ratio gives us a clear picture of how well companies being managed. Let's start with Solarvest debt ratio. From 2020 to 2022, Solarvest debt ratio fell significantly. This means the company relied more on equity and internally generated funds rather than the loans. This shows strong financial discipline and good profitability. On 2023, the debt ratio increased because Solarvest took on new loans to expand its solar projects and invest in solar assets. However, in 2024, the ratio stabilized, which shows that the company is still controlling its borrowing and not over-leveraging itself. Overall, Solarvest debt growth is strategic rather than risky. Pestech shows a very different pattern. Its debt ratio remained very high throughout the 5 years and reached about 87% in 2024. This means almost all of Pestech assets are financed by debt. Such a high level of debt indicates heavy dependence on borrowing and exposes the company to serious solvency risk, especially when profits are weak. This suggests Pestech is financially fragile. Now we look at Solarvest times interest earn ratio. Solarvest consistently recorded strong values above 6 times. This means its operating profits were more than enough to cover its interest expenses. Even when Solarvest expanded the borrowed more in 2023 and 2024, it was still able to comfortably pay interest. This shows strong profitability and low financial risk. Pestech's situation is much worse. From 2020 to 2022, the company could still pay its interest, but the margin was already weak. In 2023 and 2024, the ratio turned negative. This means Pestech operating profit was not even enough to pay interest. This is a serious warning sign as it indicates the company must rely on new borrowings just to service existing debt. The main reason for this collapse is the EPMCC segment. In 2023, the segment recorded a massive loss of 371.3 million. This caused the company's operating profit to turn negative and made it impossible to cover interest expenses. As a result, Pestech had to increase borrowing just to survive, pushing the company deeper into financial distress. Next, we look at how fast Solarvest collects cash from customers. Solarvest experienced slower collection in 2022, but it improved strongly in 2023 and reached about 61 days in 2024. This shows that the company improved its billing, project completion, and credit control. This is a positive sign for cash flow stability. Pestech has a major problem here. In 2023, customers took more than 400 days to pay, which is more than 1 year. Even in 2024, it still took more than 200 days. This creates severe cash flow stress and explains why the company struggles to meet its financial obligation. Solarvest inventory turnover improved, which means materials and projects are being completed and sold faster. Pestech's turnover keeps falling, which shows slow project execution, delayed contracts, and inefficient operation. In conclusion, Solarvest is financially strong. It has controlled debt, strong profitability, improving cash flow, and efficient operation. Pestech, on the other hand, faces very high debt, operating losses, slow cash collection, and declining efficiency. This makes it has a high-risk company. Therefore, based on financial ratios, Solarvest is the safer and stronger company. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Nazim bin Jaafar, and today I will present you about the profitability ratios analysis about Solarvest versus Pestech company. So the first one you can see is profitability ratios for ROA, which means is return on asset. At this slide, you can see the ROA for 2020 until 2024 for Solarvest and Pestech. For Solarvest, the company is strong ROA in 2020, which is 9.59%, indicating efficient asset utilization, and then decline in 2021 until 2022 due to possible higher costs or lower profitability. The ROA recovered in 2023, which is 4.15%. Further, the improvement for Solarvest is in 2024, which is 6.26%. And for the overall for Solarvest company, the trend shows recovery after short-term challenges. And for the Pestech company, the ROA is very low but positive in 2020 until 2021, which you can see in the table. The ROA is weakened significantly in 2022, which is 1.23%. The turn is negative in 2023, which is negative 30.40%. Furthermore, the decline in 2024 is negative 18.40%. This show the ROA for Pestech is indicate severe financial stress and operating loss. Okay, for the net profit margin, that we can call it as NPM. As usual, we can see the table from 2020 until 2024 for Solarvest and Pestech company. For the Solarvest maintained a consistently positive net profit margin, as we can see at the table, over the 5-year period, indicating stable profitability. And the margin peaked 7.20% in 2022, before declining in 2022 due to market or cost pressure. And a steady recovery followed with a net profit margin improving to 6.56% in 2024. And this recovery reflects effective cost control, business resilience, and a sustainable operation model. And for the Pestech, we can see that they record a strong net profit margin in 2020 and 2021, indicating a healthy profitability during that period. The margin began to decline in 2022, signaling rising costs and weakening operational performance. In 2023 and 2024 for Pestech, the net profit margin plunged to around negative 57%, remaining deeply negative for 2 consecutive years. And for the last one is, this severe negative margin indicates that expenses significantly exceed revenue, reflecting major operational inefficiencies and a critical deterioration in financial health. And for the comparison part for liquidity ratio, the first one is Solarvest shows a strong liquidity position with a current ratio of 2.83 in 2024, indicating ample short-term asset to meet immediate liabilities. And then this reflects solid financial stability and low risk of short-term cash flow problems for Solarvest. Pestech, in contrast, has a current ratio of 0.98, which is below of the safe benchmark of 1. And lastly, this suggests Pestech may face difficulties meeting short-term obligation without asset sales or additional financing. And comparison for leverage ratio is Solarvest maintain a conservative leverage position with a debt ratio of 0.55 in 2024 debt and equity. The recent increase in Solarvest debt ratio is mainly due to project financing and does not indicate over-reliance on borrowing. And the third one is Pestech is highly leveraged, recording a debt ratio of 0.87, meaning most of its assets are financed through debt. And for the last one is this heavy dependence on borrowing expose Pestech to high financial risk and potential solvency issues if earnings fail to recover. Next is comparison in operating ratios. Solarvest demonstrates a strong receivable management with an average collection period of 61 days in 2024. The improvement reflects effective credit control and more timely customer payments. Pestech shows server efficiency with an average collection period of 227 days, which is critically high. For the last one, for operating ratios comparison is this prolonged collection period indicate serious weakness in working capital management and place significant pressure on Pestech cash flows. And for the comparison for profitability ratios, Solarvest shows a strong and consistent profitability in 2024 with positive ROA 6.26%, ROE 14.30%, and net profit margin is 6.56%. This ratio indicates an efficient use of asset, healthy return shareholders, and effective cost management. Pestech, in contrast, record severely negative profitability in 2024, including NPM is negative 57.70% and ROE is negative 139.5%. This reflects a substantial losses, erosion of shareholder value, and serious inefficiency in resource utilization. That's all from me. I will pass to the next person.
Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. My name is Iqmal Kamran and I will continue this presentation for the recommendation and also the conclusion. Based on our financial ratio analysis from 2020 until 2025, we recommend Solarvest Holdings Berhad as the preferred investment option. In contrast, Pestech International Berhad is not recommended due to the financial distress. This recommendation is supported by the liquidity, leverage, operating efficiency, and also the profitability ratios. Why Solarvest is recommended is because Solarvest shows strong financial health across all key areas. Its liquidity ratios indicate strong short-term liability, while the leverage remains controlled despite the expansion. Operationally, the company improved its receivable collection and also the inventory turnover. And the most important part, Solarvest remained profitable throughout the 5 years period, generate consistent return for the shareholders. On the other hand, why Pestech are not recommended is because Pestech faced serious financial challenge. Its liquidity ratios was below 1, indicate difficulty in meeting short-term obligations. Pestech also faced high leverage combined with the negative time interest earned, show the severe solvency risk, and also the operational inefficiencies and continuous losses further weaken the investor confidence in future. For the overall conclusion, the financial ratios analysis clearly differentiates the performance of both companies. Solarvest demonstrated financial stabilities, operational consistency, and sustainable profitability. Meanwhile, Pestech continues to face liquidity pressure, high leverage, and declining in their financial performance. Lastly, the final investment verdict. Based on the overall financial analysis from 2020 until 2025, Solarvest Holdings Berhad is the preferred investment choice due to its stability and growth potential. Pestech International Berhad, however, carried high financial risk and is not suitable for the investment at this stage of time. So our final decisions, we selected Solarvest as the preferred investment choices. Thank you.